Hello everyone, and welcome to Sass RPG Night Volume 2. Okay, so we are deep in the Drow tunnels, headed towards the Underdark, maybe. I'm hoping not already in the Underdark, that would be real bad. Weird stuff happens down there, just so you know. But we've got our full party. We've got Esper back this week. He's going to take us and lead us to where the Drow live, and we're going to hopefully manage to get this done. So, yeah, that's what story is so far. Beat some Driders last time. But let's go ahead and hop back into the voice channel. Hop back into the voice channel. I can't talk this morning. And we will see what's going on. Hello.
How will
Hello.
Is that the internet?
The internet is here. I bring it with me.
Hey, internet.
It goes everywhere I go.
It's the U.S.
Oh,
It's
shit.
huge ships. Guns.
But yes, we were just regaling a tale for Esper, a tale of last time on RPG Night with Sass Volume 2, or whatever the fuck time it is.
Broken swords and dragon's bones.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But for those of you who missed it, the greatest mystery in the history of mysteries, I was tired of the party reading runes because apparently that was a thing. So I said, okay, I'll fix that problem. So I said, there will be no rune on this one. There will be a left handprint in the wall.
Yeah.
So several of the party members just look at the handprint like it's the greatest mystery in the history of mysteries. And Serenity says, I'm going to stab it. No, before that, it was, I'm going to put my hand in it. Nothing happens. It's not the right hand. I'm going to put my other hand in it. Nothing happens. I'm going to stab it.
And at that point, you just hear me going, no.
And
No.
And one failed strength save later, rip Rimsword.
Yeah. Which we were spared the wild magic surge.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I did. You had other issues to worry about, like,
Yes.
I don't know, a lot of Driders heading in your direction, Driders and spiders, and
everything.
Death, oh
Not
my.
Nice.
yes, there we go.
Death,
Death.
Yeah.
But the good news is that you had some help in the form of N, who used a very clutch Sleet Storm spell to hinder the advance of those spiders.
It was much clutch.
Yes,
It was very well timed spell.
Unfortunately, though,
And
looks
I
like Tamsin.
actually got to use Spare the Dying.
Hey,
I've had that
By the
spell
way-
for like ever. I just haven't gotten to use it because by the time I'm getting there to use it, no one heals them.
for non-healing classes, that is actually one of the more useful spells, especially if
Yeah.
you have larger groups. I find that having that spell, that cantrip, is useful to give your healers time to do what they need to do.
Yeah. That's why I have it for those like clutch,
Yeah.
shit's hitting the wall kind of scenarios.
Oh, did shit hit the wall?
No,
that's
it's called,
not a-
we didn't have any healers nearby.
No, that was spider blood.
Oh, okay.
Spider blood hit the wall.
Spider blood and swords.
Serenity got one shot though, and I decided to spare the dying so he wouldn't die.
Yes. Stuff
But
and
what have
things
we
and
learned
things.
about running towards the large group of things that want to kill us?
The terrible
again.
idea.
Do it again.
Terrible idea. Don't do it again.
I'm gonna get my popcorn ready.
I will not save you a second time.
If the rest of the party is running, you run with them.
Yes.
I'm gonna stay back and help
Run.
everybody. One triple shot later.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it happened. It's okay. We're moving on from that. So, now that we've taken care of the recap, which, by the way, I think I gave everybody your XP for last session, if memory serves me correct. So, we should be all caught up on XP. Everybody should be in good shape. So, why don't we proceed with today's session? Let me pull up my map right here. Bear with me just one moment.
Yes,
here
you're
we
bad.
go.
I did your XP.
All right, so As I was mentioning to everybody prior to the session today, I've got some good news for you. You know the twisty, turny, windy maze you've been going through? Yeah, it's much less twisty, turny, windy. It's more of like a single path type of pathing right now, which is really great. It's less maze, more path.
Miraculous.
And the further down you go in this path, and it's definitely heading on a downward arc. Um, it's definitely downward path, but the further you go down this path, the less you hear the skittering, because that sleet storm that you threw behind you, it definitely deterred them. It slowed them down quite a bit. You hear some skittering, some falling, some screeches, and things like that, and just seems like they just got really annoyed and gave up, or something to that effect. So you were able to escape from them. One thing I forgot to give on that is I do have to give Tamsin's character some XP for that, because that was a clutch battle avoidance.
You gave 25 last time.
I already did. Never mind. Okay, moving on. See, y'all are on top of this. Okay. As the path continues to go down, you travel for what seems to be another 30 minutes down this path. You hear absolutely no signs of life as you're heading down this path. No other sources of light other than anything that you guys are bringing. The path is about 25 foot wide right now. It's a fairly decent sized tunnel. It's about 25 foot wide, still about 15 foot high. Definitely a wider tunnel than what you've been going through earlier. And before anyone asks, there are no runes on the wall. Let's just get that out of the way.
Oh, come on, nothing to read.
Should have brought a book.
Okay, I've got one.
I have a book.
Oh, that's right, you do, Kojiro.
I do.
Throw Yuri on ice at him.
What?
I will throw it back
Throw
at you.
Yuri on ice at him.
Oh, God.
I will throw it back at you. You the swine.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Are you serious about that, Esper?
I mean, unless he actually said he was bored of not reading things.
I think that was OOC.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
was
Anyway. If you have any preparations to make, now would be an appropriate time.
Do y'all need to rest? Do y'all need to not be poisoned?
When I say preparations, I mean as you're heading down the tunnel preparations.
I'm
Yeah.
very low. Can I have heals?
Esper, how close are we to the Drow City, out of curiosity?
Esper, you would know that you were not very far at this time.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great. So I was using the microphone from the other side of the room for this entire time. I didn't realize it.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Good job.
As,
You
as
did
you,
You would
Esper,
all
to
notice.
confirm, you would know that it would be at this time, since you've been heading down that path for half an hour. You would know you're about half an hour away from the city.
Yeah. Just for everyone that's in the party, y'all would notice that every time I speak, I start falling into a much different me. I don't stand quite as proudly. My voice is not the same chipper that it was. It becomes a lot more of a. We will be arriving very soon. No more than 30 minutes. Steel yourselves. Trust no one.
Does everyone want to murder us?
No,
Probably.
but everyone is leverage at some point or another.
Ah.
Serenity, if you're not feeling too well, I can do something about that.
Yeah. I got stabbed a few times with an arrow.
Yeah, you can, Esper, or I can. It's up to you.
This is my plan. I'll deal with what I can, at least. Be a little bit more of use. Where the fuck is... Okay, so, cure wounds. How do I make sure that that is set to... Not an attack, 1d8. Okay, yeah, good. I have that one set up.
Okay, 11. Go ahead and add 11 to yourself, Serenity.
Okay.
I said nothing. I just went, heh.
I know what that means. I'm a DM. I know what that means. It's the best kind of
No,
laughter.
you should know. You should be worried when I have two of those, heh, like heh, heh, or heh, 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 heh.
Marasi, by the
That's
way,
what
you
really
would
scared.
look, for the most part, like a drow.
Oh, cool.
Your skin would be darker, and Kojiro, you would not be elven in feature, but depending if your skin was dark before, I would have made it lighter. Probably changed a little bit of the structure using the new clay I got of your face to round it a little bit, just to make you both not too much so that it would be odd to see, but enough to hide basic features.
You got clay of their face?
No,
Okay.
he has clay though.
Molding clay.
Yeah.
For disguise kit.
Yeah.
Disguise kit
very
roll, please. Disguise kit roll, please.
Yeah. I also have proficiency in that, so I can help if you like on that. least
If
on
there's
my end.
help, it's gonna be advantage
Okay.
Yeah, roll
on
advantage,
the
Esper,
kit.
Okay.
because I will help.
What skill do you want me to use? Dex?
Do you not have a kit?
There is a
Oh, I
disguise
do have a kit.
Yeah, click on it.
It's just
It ought to roll twice.
You click on the kit, yeah. Oh, you haven't assigned a thing to the kit.
yeah,
though.
I never did because it was one of those.
Oh, I have mine set up, I think.
Give me for disguise kit. Let me actually see what I did in. Give me a second. I can answer that question. I can get that real quick because I can see because I have a disguise kit in the other thing and I can see.
Yeah, mine says it's proficiency, so it's +7 for me because it's charisma plus proficiency.
Yeah, charisma's the one. That
Yeah.
is correct. Give me a second. I had to leave the server for a second to confirm which one I had. Yeah, it's charisma.
Okay, charisma. One proficient.
Hey.
23. Okay. By the way, Marasi, actually, never mind. No, because you're applying it now, not before.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
So, no, you're applying it now, not before you entered.
We actually talked about doing that on the ship.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a long thing that
we
we
just
spent
didn't
time
do
doing.
it because Esper wasn't here.
Marasi, how many times were you hit?
Oh, jeez.
Between then and now?
This is
I took
This is
two-
important.
liquid
yeah, yeah.
resistant stuff.
Doesn't
I
matter.
specifically paid more for that.
This is not
Um,
involving liquid.
I took a total of 2 attacks. I
Okay,
think.
so
I missed the strength. All right, no, I made the strength save from before, so the webbing didn't affect me. But there was a crit and there was one other.
saving throws don't matter. What matters is where you hit by things.
Yeah,
So
I'm
2
down hit
hits.
points. Yeah.
Okay. Your DC is then 21.
Hey, 23.
No, yeah, 23 minus 2 will be 21.
I'm scared now.
So you have a DC 21 on that disguise.
Okay.
I am scared now.
How many times you get hit, Kojiro?
Did you forget the time he slid down the cliff?
All right. Oh,
Let's
right,
start
that.
there. It's
Yeah,
all
I
downhill.
I
Let's
slid
just
down
start
the
with all the
cliff.
dirt.
Let's just start there, and it's all downhill from there.
Yeah. It wouldn't be safe to say my disguise is kind of gone.
Your disguise is effectively null and void, I would
His
say.
disguise should be fine. It's high quality
No.
clay that I only did to his face.
It's high quality clay covered
yeah.
by dirt now.
Okay, he's a dirty, rounded-faced.
A dirty
Guy.
human-ish looking thing.
Wow!
And then
Wow!
we move on to the
Wow.
webs and
Wow.
spider bites.
Yeah,
and
so dirty and dust
poison.
covered and web covered.
He was knocked out, by the way, in the first fight.
Was he?
Yep.
Yeah, he
No,
was.
no, second fight I got knocked out.
Second fight. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
You were near. You were. Oh, that's right. It was the second fight. That was not the first fight. Yeah, it was the second fight. The first fight,
Second
nobody.
fight I was throwing I was throwing rays of fire at everything.
Yeah, second fight that was the down the hill and you got instantly
I got destroyed.
incapacitated.
I got destroyed.
Do we need to
And
take
something
like
tried to
5-10
eat me.
minutes and fix him?
Yeah, I can do that.
Disguise kit normal. No advantage for this. And I'll base this on time 11. Okay, it'll be DC 11.
Can't roll much lower.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No. I mean that 8 modifier is pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll just have to hope
That's
it
a great
carries a
modifier.
day. We'll just
Yeah.
have to hope it carries a day. Okay. I could also roll terribly. That could also be a thing.
Here's hoping.
All right. So the party continues down the path. It veers off to the right a little bit, but not too much. I mean, it's not like a sharp turn or anything like that. Just kind of a gentle kind of veering off to the right a little bit. And then the party sees something change in the cave. It's no longer just dirt and rock. There are definitely carved stairs going up.
Once we reach this point, I'm gonna pull out the cape that's in my bag, put it on, has the seal.
Esper, you would know when you see these stairs. You would know that you have arrived at the outskirts of town. Basically, you would know that you are within 5 minutes of seeing the city.
Well, we're close. Let us press forward.
I'll let you handle the talking while we're in there.
If they allow me to, yes.
And the party starts climbing the stairs. It's a graduated staircase. There's about 6 sets of stairs. Each of them about. It's about.
I was gonna make that joke, but I
List, what's this degree in?
Ew.
It's a degree in elevation.
Nope. 20 steps each. At which point, there is a sharp left. And the cavern opens up.
Oh.
And the entire party can see this. Even if you do not have low light vision or dark vision or anything like that, the entire party can see this. What you see before you is what appears to be a grand city, an underground city, definitely further than your eyes can see. It is definitely wall to wall. Like the cavern is really, really big at this point. Like it's almost like you're opening up into, like, say you exit into the overworld, so to speak, but it's not quite. That ceiling is like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet above you now. And the floor, even, you might not want to take a step forward because that's a straight 250-foot drop.
Let's go.
Push.
No.
And I was
Arcana.
waiting for that. I was waiting for that. There are two paths, one to the left, one to the right. They both seem to take you to the same destination. I hear dice rolling. Who's pushing?
No, that's me and my son.
I'm
Okay.
I'll sail on my
desperately
shield.
tempted.
It'll be fine.
There's a path to the left and the right. Both of them lead down. It's basically a circular path. It's just it leads down. It kind of curves all the way down. It's about a 20-foot wide path. Excuse me. No, I'm sorry. 25-foot wide path. Let's see. There are lights all over the city. Definitely not sunlight. These are definitely different types of lights. Esper, you would recognize these. But for the rest of you, it's a much different light. It's more of a bluish light than it is a white or a yellow light. Almost like a light blue light.
It's a computer.
Actually, I take that back. Octaya would also recognize this based on on history.
Bioluminescent mushroom?
You can't tell at this distance what's causing the light. Too far away. You can also see some buildings carved into what appears to be buildings, or the makings of buildings carved into the cavern walls themselves as well, from the distance that you're at. You're still a few minutes from the entrance of town. You would have to go around the path in order to get into town. Effectively, this is your last chance before you enter town.
All right.
Well, unless they get big cave.
Octaya is no longer a spider, correct?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Octaya-
no, you popped out of being a spider, you got hit.
I saw that in my character sheet still. Or in my character list.
Yeah, I didn't take it off, but yeah, you
That's
got
fine.
popped out of. Yeah.
Leave it there. It's fine.
Where is? By the way, Esper, did you want to name this town?
Yes, I have it in my notes.
Okay. Yeah, because I think if it's what I think it is, then yeah, this is gonna be the town, that town basically.
Yeah, I believe it should be under the Elven lore. I believe I did add it.
Excellent. Okay.
Did we get an Elven lore thing?
We did. We have
We
the
did,
sheet
there's an Elven
still
lands
up.
lore. I forgot about that.
Here it is. Oh, okay, here it is. I'm gonna type out the name for y'all. Actually, yeah. So, are you sharing the name of the city, Esper?
Yes, once we enter and they can see this site. Welcome to Mistrendaf, the Drow Elven capital.
All right.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, what's the party going to do other than try to push someone else off the ledge?
A few words of advice. Just a few words of advice. Don't touch your weapons, but stand tall. Make yourself seem respectable. But never touch your weapons, especially if we're in the presence of my father. They will kill us.
Point second,
Okay.
well taken.
One step from. We're always in situations, aren't we?
We're will be interesting guests.
Okay.
Glorified patrons.
What is the party going to do?
Well, considering none of us know our way around here.
Where are we going, Esper?
Down, well, around into the gates, and then the god, well, I'll make my statement, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, so the party is heading into the city?
Yeah. Well, I'm leading them in, yes.
Okay. As the party now heads down the path towards the city, yes, you would recognize a gate there. As you mentioned, this gate is probably about... This gate is actually much taller than you remember. It's about a 40-foot tall gate. Probably about 30 foot wide. Made of just solid metal, a dark metal. Out on the outside, see 4 guards on the ground. Esper, if you would please, I need a perception check. Octaya can also make this check at disadvantage based on history. No one else can make this check.
Disadvantage perception.
Disadvantage perception. 13, okay. Esper can make it at normal. 24. Both of you would get this information. You can also see, as everyone in the party can see this part of it, there is definitely a almost like it's almost built as if it was a fort wall kind of thing. The gate is in the middle, and then there's like wall outward from it. Both Octaya and Esper, though, remember, oh yeah, that wouldn't be where all of them are. And you look up and you see, Octaya, you see a couple of archers, eyes trained directly on this on your large group heading for its gates. Esper, with your 24, you would be able to get an exact number of archers. There would be 8 of them with eyes trained on you. They seem to be, how shall I put this? As they see a large group approaching, they are on edge because you know how it is with outsiders and things like that.
Yeah.
Their eyes are trained very closely on the groups.
As we get within earshot of the guards at the gate, because in my mind I've always pictured elves as being a Spanish-style language and Drow being Portuguese. So
And I can barely English, but sure.
Eu sou Esper Blade Singer.
I
Venho
usually go with-
procurando.
I usually go with British and Irish.
Yeah.
Well, that's just. I also speak those languages. I don't speak Spanish very well.
Anyway, go ahead,
Well,
Esper.
I call out to them saying that Hail, I am Esper Blade Singer. I come seeking my father. Esper Broken Skull.
Wait.
That's a
Your
name.
father's the same name as you.
That's what happens with royalty.
Did you
You
say
will
that
have
in
to-
undercommon to me or no?
What language did you speak? That's important.
That would have been undercommon.
Undercommon, okay.
And I
There you
was
go.
spoken to you in undercommon. Did you
Okay.
respond to me in undercommon?
Yes.
Okay.
Bear with me just a second as I am verifying something in Esper's sheet to make sure I respond appropriately.
Can't remember if I put his name as a copy of mine or.
No. That's fine. I just want to make sure that I don't do something I'm not supposed to with this. I'm trying to. Okay. So you're requesting to see your father, correct?
Yes.
With outsiders.
Yes, this is stringent times.
I would like to point out this particular moment that the 4 guards that are standing down on the ground floor. Something that you should make note of. All 4 of them are male. Particularly noteworthy to Esper and Octaya.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Can I get a whispers to whether that's important?
Drow
I'm on
culture
it. I'm on
thing.
it. I'm on
It's
it.
a Drow culture thing.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, sure, you can say that, but you gotta tell me why.
Drow culture thing. TLDR. It's a.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Train of thought. Oh yeah, all 4 of them that are on the same floor as you, they're all carrying spears. All 4 of them. No, excuse me. 2 of them are now lined up in front of the gate, still facing you. Their appearance seems to be a little more hostile than it was before. Not outright aggressive, but they seem to be really annoyed with this request.
I'm gonna ask Asper, should I wave to them?
Do not be stupid.
Okay.
These are my traveling companions, and we have business with him and my mother.
Esper Morossi. Shoot. Okay. Let me check something real quick. Bear with me a second. Esper Morossi can definitely make this roll. I have to, I'm gonna tell you here in just a second. I need anybody in the party who is of the following classes: Wizard. Let's see who else can make this roll. Sorcerers can make this roll. You can't. Actually, no. Octaya cannot make this roll.
What?
Okay, here we go.
Related.
Bards, sorcerers, and wizards can make this roll. Roll Arcana, please.
Is Tentacle a legitimate class?
Not good.
No Arcana.
And at
hentai is
this
not an
point-
instrument.
And at that point, you've lost the argument of you haven't ever brought it up. Hentai mage is apparently a thing.
Oh
It
yeah.
has been for.
I know,
5
but now
months.
it's canon.
Yep.
What do you mean it's canon? It's
It's
always been
headcanon.
canon.
Or something.
Wait, so
Anyway,
it's
Big
not-
shot out of
Arcana rolls, please. Okay, hang
Already
on.
did.
So is that everybody who is a wizard, sorcerer, or bard?
N is a
Or
sorcerer as
druid?
far as we know anyway.
And
As
is
far as
not
I
here.
know anyway. But she's not
Then
here.
Yeah, so that'll be a take 1. Well then, good news, 13 is going to just barely pass.
Ooh,
Speaking of,
Surprise, it's a jack.
I'm not paying
it's
attention.
JK.
Jack! Hello, Jack!
It's a jack!
Whoa, Jack.
Alright. Jack, you're just in time.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so 13's going to get you some information. As this is a cantrip, you can recognize the cantrip, Esper. You can recognize that a message is being passed back and forth between one of the guards downstairs and what appears to be an unknown entity. You don't know where the source of the casting is coming from.
All right.
One of the guards turns to you at this point, the ones that are not at the gate, and says, "You will wait here."
How dare, first of all.
Understood.
Does Octavia say that out loud?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, just making sure.
He seems a little grumpy today.
So I mean, like, I just want to make sure if that's player or if that's character saying that, because that's two totally different. That's two totally different reactions depending on which. So okay, so about your 5 minutes pass. Nothing. 10 minutes pass. Nothing.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
They're still watching us, yeah? Like, really closely?
Perception check. Well, the guards at the bottom, yes. Perception check.
Okay. 21.
21. Now, at this point, Marossi, you would notice that there are 8 trained archers up top of the wall.
Having heard the undercommon being spoken and know that I don't understand it, I'm trying to see if I can get off a spell real quick so I can understand. But I don't know. I don't know. Do I think that there's a chance they're probably gonna see me if I hide behind somebody?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
What are you trying to do?
I'll cast,
Are you trying to?
It's comprehend languages, so I can understand.
Okay.
I tell her not to just yet.
Yeah.
That's meta knowledge, though. But yeah, it's
like kind of notice.
I'm just thinking about it. I haven't done anything yet. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Leave it alone for now. If I need it later, I'll do it.
Okay. 15 minutes pass. Nothing. 30 minutes pass. Nothing. You can see one of the guards getting a little agitated, poking his spear, the blunt end of his spear, the handle end, into the ground, getting a little agitated. Just one of them. 45 minutes pass. Nothing. An hour passes. Nothing.
Can I have begun meditating around like minute 15?
Say that again?
Can I have begun like meditating around mark 15?
Yeah. Oh, well, no, at this point, I would have to mark it at this particular moment. So, if you want to do it starting now, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think we have a Tamsin, by the way.
Hi, Tamsin.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. We have the full group is here. Hey.
Oh. When the fuck has that ever happened?
Has now. How long are you looking to meditate for, Octavia?
Until something happens.
Until something happens.
If it's 4 hours, that'd be great, but if it's not, oh well.
2 hours pass.
Okay.
What is happening?
Can I roll investigation to see if this is, or insight? And I don't know, which one do I roll to figure out if we're just being made to wait out here?
Sure. You roll at disadvantage.
Which do I roll, though?
Investigation. No, I want you to roll insight on this, please.
9.
I don't know, man. Drow politics can be a tricky business.
All right, then.
I'm keeping a close eye on everyone, just making sure. Specifically in my group, I know the intentions of my people, but the group that's with me, my party, just making sure nobody does anything that could be considered hostile.
3 hours pass.
Are we just waiting?
Yes.
For now, yeah.
Good news. Finally. As the dice finally cooperate.
No, keep it
So 2 hours have passed, Octaya, if it matters to you.
It does.
You
What does that give me as
effectively get a short rest. Yeah, you get a short out of that. Yeah.
What does that matter?
Hit dice if you want them.
Do we all get that?
Is that option for everybody?
I will allow everyone
no.
the short rest. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Well, no, not everybody, because not everybody was participating in the short rest. Octaya would get the short rest. I'm not going to allow it for anybody else because no one else requested it.
That's fair.
Are you Druid of the Moon, Octaya?
Because here's the thing: if anything,
Druid?
No, I'm only a druid, sadly.
Oh, okay.
basically, if anyone were to attack, basically, Octaya would be at caught flat-footed and would be in really bad shape. Whereas those of you who were not resting would be full alert. So, and the vice versa, though, you don't get the rest. So, yes, Octaya.
Hit die. I just roll like one hit die.
You can roll up to your level in hit dice to recover your health.
You also get all of your beast shapes back.
Yeah.
So that's good for you. 5 health right there.
Yeah.
So you can do, I think, 5 more because you're level 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do 5 more if you want. That's 3. Okay. Just up until you recover all your health, basically.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
So
keep...
8. That's 16.
Wait, what? 8?
8 and 8, 16.
Yeah, but 8 added to 25 is 33.
33.
Okay, that's close enough. I'm done.
Okay. You can still roll another one. There's no penalty for doing so. You just roll your hit dice.
Sure,
You want to
so
just top
every short rest I get new hit die?
Every long rest.
Every long
rest.
Every
I'm
long
a
rest, you
pause
get
right
half
there.
of your hit die back.
I'm
Yeah, if you want to just...
right there.
Okay,
Because
that's fine.
I have
So
33 out of my 35, so...
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
There's no point in wasting a hit die.
Yep,
Okay.
moving on.
Moving on. Going back to earlier, let me get Marossi one more time to roll Arcana, please.
Okay.
You would now recognize this. Now you recognize the message is being passed forth between one of the guards and an unknown entity. Esper, you would also recognize this from the earlier Arcana roll.
Can we hear anything being said on either end? Because, let's see. Message...
Is a verbal component.
It is. It's a whisper, but it's very soft, but depending on how loud the caves are, maybe we can hear something, question mark?
That depends.
I'm reaching a little bit, but...
I understand. The answer is yes, but here's the problem with that. It's not Underdark that's being spoken.
What's being
spoken? Well, that's good.
Undercommon, excuse me.
I can't speak Undercommon.
Well, that might be potentially good news for you.
Is it Elvish?
No, it is not.
What is it?
Give me a second.
Elvish.
No!
Where
Pay attention in
is...
school.
Where is... Oh, there it is.
The suspense, though.
I know.
It is... It is... does anybody in the party speak Dwarvish?
Nope.
Yes.
If you speak Dwarvish, you can understand what's being said on the guard's end.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we can't hear the upper end, correct?
No, you cannot.
Wait a second, I speak Dwarvish.
If you speak Dwarvish, you can understand what's being said by the guard.
What is the guard saying?
It's on your head then.
Ooh.
Guard turns to you, to all of you, says, "You've been permitted entrance into the city.
Sweet.
Under the condition that you are to go directly to your father's house, no straying from the path. You are not to leave that house until further notice."
Understood.
In what language did they say?
That is in Undercommon.
Thank you.
Everybody, we've been given orders.
Common to the rest of the party.
The gates open. available for you to walk through.
Did you hear what I said, Realist?
I'm sorry?
I said Octavia will relay that message that was spoken in Undercommon.
I did catch that, yes.
Thank you. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start leading everyone there.
Okay. It's not too terribly far of a walk, maybe 15 minutes. You're taking the direct path, following orders? Okay, about 15 minutes. You arrive at a fairly large mansion. It's not in the best shape, but still pretty impressive from the outside.
Welcome to my home.
It's pretty nice.
This mansion that I speak of, to put it into context, it's about a 4,000-foot mansion. 3 floors. Impressive stone columns up front. There's about 12 of them, 6 on each side.
Hey, that's
and
where you go, sister.
and an archway. This would be a fantastic time, by the way, Marossi.
Sweet.
I'm assuming you're doing so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. There's a few mushrooms in the yard, so to speak. I mean, it's let's just say it needs a little bit of upkeep, etc., etc.
I wouldn't
The-
eat those.
You don't see anybody working outside, though. You don't see anybody keeping guard outside, which is a little unusual. Normally, there are at least 2 guards outside. There are none. The mansion is painted a dark blue, almost black, but not quite. It's definitely a very dark blue hue, almost like a midnight blue.
Does it have some clues?
Wow. Okay.
I'm
Moving on
shaking
from
my
that.
head. I'm shaking my head.
Valder's gonna turn to Esper and just kind of like gesturing up at the house. Whatever you do.
Suddenly, hashtag one true Steve. Sorry, go ahead.
God damn it.
No.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you're going there, I'm going there. So.
Whatever you
I
do.
I have
Don't-
an idea for a new character, and I wish to name him Steve.
Guys, let's let Valdir talk.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't get us mixed up in whatever your family's with. I've got enough troubles then without having 2 royal houses after my ass.
Does Octavia know it's a royal house?
I
You
proclaimed
could-
it to everyone.
Good, thank you.
Even if it wasn't proclaimed, you would be able to tell. Even if this wasn't a royal, this person, whoever owns this mansion, would be fairly high up the food chain.
Thank you. So here's a question list. Things I probably should have researched before. When trading with them, would Octavia who would Octavia have dealt with? Men or women?
Definitely a lot of merchant class.
Mhm.
Maybe a few of the ruling class, but not as much. That would have been more for. Yeah, I could say that you would have dealt with more of a few of the. How shall I put this?
Rub some elbows with some higher ups.
This would be more of like for say a temple or 2.
Okay.
Naura, if you would, with the temple stuff, just in case.
Wait, what?
The Drow temples.
I was asking about men or women.
Mostly women.
Thank you.
But it's important. The temple thing is potentially
Oh, I got it,
important
yeah.
for later. Yeah, just let her know what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I just look around before I lead them in. My mother is a woman of the religious side. If you have any iconography, I would suggest putting it away.
How do Drow feel about
Octaya,
We had that
immediate
question.
history check, please.
History check. 1 second. Normal.
Normal, please.
Oof.
Yeah, that. I mean, you've had dealings with the religious folk down here in the past. I mean, you know, the dealings went fine. So, what is the
Can
party
she
doing?
ask?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Can she ask how they feel about druids specifically to Esper?
I don't know. That's between you and Esper.
Hey, Esper.
You will not get as much of a stink eye. We have not necessarily your common druid, but we have people who work magic in the land. But specifically, any of you that might, if any, carry iconography of anyone as well known as, say, Palor or Saren Ray or any of the major gods that hold themselves in light, I'd suggest putting it away down here.
TLDR, check your religious privilege down here.
Octavia doesn't really have any iconography on her.
Yeah, that was more directed towards clerics and paladins.
Do we have
Depending
any?
on, we have a paladin actually.
Yep, hi.
Sorry.
Leaf.
My thing is under armor and others.
Yeah, what god or goddess do you worship?
The nature one.
Which one is that?
Melora?
Oh. Here, 1 minute. I'll check her name.
Please, this could be potentially important.
Holy shit, this running's just done. Okay.
I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but I will put it in chat.
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
I think that one's okay, right? I think so. Shantae is true neutral? I could be wrong. Let me look.
Neutral good.
Oh,
Could be interesting.
Then I'm gonna rule that would, you might, that would be directed at you then.
I'll put it under my armor.
Okay.
Here's a question: is the holy symbol on your armor?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What is your holy symbol, by the way? Where, is it a necklace? Is it?
Yeah,
what is it?
it's a necklace.
Okay, perfect. Then you're fine. Yeah, you can put it under your armor. You're totally fine. Okay, everybody heading inside?
As Esper's mentioned, I will reach up, take off my earrings, and I will hide them in my bag.
Okay.
And I'll start leading people up the stairs to the door. I will knock firmly.
All right, so you knock on the front door. Is that correct?
Yes.
Takes a minute. Well, the door opens, and you are greeted by a fairly tall drow. This man is about 6'2", very slender drow, but very well dressed. Could potentially be a butler or a manservant of the manor.
I've come from my father. He's expecting us.
Oh, Master Esper. Please, come in. Your usual room is upstairs.
Alright.
and he starts walking towards the stairs. I'm assuming you're following.
Yeah.
Is anybody else following?
Octavia will ask an undercomment, and where are we to say?
I have been informed that the rest of you will stay in the main hall here.
I'm gonna follow Esper then.
Yeah, I'll follow Esper.
I just
When
Be
Okay.
staying in the main hall
stay.
like we were told.
Okay, so let me clarify what I just said. So he's saying Esper has to go to a separate room upstairs. He said everybody else is staying in the main hall, which is basically where you're at right now, the main hall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry
We'll
if I
stay
was.
in the main hall.
Yeah, stay where we're told to stay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry if I wasn't clear. Yeah. Okay. Let me paint you a word picture for everybody who's downstairs in the main hall. It is a very large open area. Ceiling is about 25 foot high here. Everything in here, however, you would think that with a grand mansion painted in midnight blue on the outside, you're thinking, oh, it's probably some sort of a dark color inside. No, actually, it's all painted in white on the inside. More what appear to be marble columns standing, holding supporting the ceiling. These are columns that go all the way from the floor to the ceiling. There's about 8 of them heading from the door towards what appears to be another large room. I can't quite see in there, but it might appear to be a dining type of area down the hall. A dining or definitely a gathering area for social events. There are several nice looking benches, not just benches, but they're like they're benches with cushions on them, basically. There are several of those. There are some nice looking chairs in the main waiting area in the main hall as well. There's about 6 of those. And yeah, it's just there's a lot of marble. It's a lot of
Hashtag
marble.
time to get benched.
What?
Are we being asked to wait here?
Yes, you've been asked to wait there.
Okay, is there any chair I can sit in?
Yes, there are 6 chairs and also several benches.
I'll sit in a chair as well.
Same, I will sit in a
wanna-
chair and I will rest.
Okay.
You know what? Screw y'all. I'm gonna go to a bench.
Valder's just
Play
gonna stand.
musical chairs.
I'm gonna stay standing.
Valder's just standing and not touching anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna rest until something happens on our end.
Yeah, I'll do the same. Sounds like a good idea.
We're going to get back to the main group in just a moment. Esper,
Yes.
you're following the butler over to following him on a very familiar path. He takes you back to where your childhood room was.
I follow and open the door.
Mm-hmm. It's just as you remembered it.
Not
No
much
one
has
else is in there
changed.
right now. Sorry?
I just, under my breath, just not much has changed.
The servant turns to you and says, "Your father will be with you shortly.
Understood.
I will alert him immediately." And he turns and he leaves. There are. The room is just as you remember it. I mean, it is exactly. It is like almost to the very detail exactly as you left it, almost as if nobody had entered the room, but it looks very clean. So somebody has definitely been in here to clean it many, many times. There's also a small, what appears to be a bell made of crystal on the nightstand. History check advantage.
Boop, 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 boop. Character development scary poop.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
24. You remember something from your childhood, a funny prank you played on the last butler that was here. This butler here, you don't recognize him. Like he's not the same butler since last time you were here. But last time you were here, you remember a prank that you pulled on that butler. You remember how when you were a child, you were given this bell, and if you needed anything, that you would ring the bell. And you would ring this bell, and you would wait for the butler to come in, and you would be like, "No, I'm just practicing magic." And he would leave, and you would do it again. "No, I'm just practicing magic." And he would do it again and again and again until well, let's just say there's a reason that butler is no longer employed here.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. The less people know, the better, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just sit down on the edge of the bed, pull out the thin copper wire.
By the way, his book is over there. That book that butler really liked is over there.
And just whisper a message to Marasi. Just saying, make sure nobody strays, but you should be safe to rest and take ease in the house.
I'll keep an eye on him.
And I wait.
As we go back to the main group, as everybody's waiting there, you see two other drow enter the room, plainclothed. None of you would recognize them. One of them appears to be tending to maybe, it looks like maybe doing a little bit of touching up on cleaning. The other one appears to be looking for something. The one that's looking for something just kind of passes through the room, kind of looks around, stays there for about a few minutes, and then moves on to another room.
Oh, Liz, I need the thing. It's a thing. It's that thing.
Hey,
I do get spell slots back. Sorry.
A little detail. I've got to pop out for a sec because a friend needs help. Just let me know if there's a fight or something. I'll pop right back in.
Hang on just a second. Cover up to. Oh yeah, you will get some spell slots back. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I
No,
was
you're
like,
fine.
what the hell does my thing give me? And then I was like, oh yeah, that. So.
You're good. You're good. I'm sorry. Somebody else was saying something as well.
Just saying I need to pop out for a moment. I'll be back. Give me a ping if we're about to get into a fight or you need me to charge up or something.
Will do. Okay. Another drow enters the room. This one female. Also appears to be looking for something. Spends a few minutes in the room, then leaves. which point, a different group of drow enter the room. 4. Okay, no problem. That'll work here, bud. 4 very well-armed drow males. And a man, a drow male, dressed in very, very fine clothing. This drow male stands about, he's not very tall. In fact, I would say he's fairly short. He's about 5'3", very short elf. Not short, like not really short, but like for elves, definitely on the shorter end. About 5'3", not slender, about average build. Definitely an older male. In the 4 guards, however, are in front of him, so like in a column 2 and 2, and then he's in the middle, in a sense. And the man who is the man in the fine clothing, he looks around at the group.
I point up.
Okay.
So you're the people that he brought.
Yes, sir. We are.
And when she introduces
I'm
herself,
going
it's
to
really
roll
all
something real quick.
I look like a drow. I'm trying to sound like a drow, and it's not working very well. I'm not good at accents. I'm sorry.
And I rolled like shit, so there you go.
Yay!
I rolled shit. No, funny shit would have happened if I would have rolled high.
Darn it, I want the funny shit.
I want to stay alive.
I don't want the TPK when we're in my world. Oh god.
What are y'all worrying about? It would have been funny, but no. Okay,
Release
anyway.
the Kraken.
No.
No.
Kraken's are
Did
not fun to fight.
somebody
Release
say
the mic?
Kraken?
No.
Oh, gosh.
We do not need
There
an
you
appearance
go.
of
There's the
calamari.
We don't need
See-
tentacles.
Anyway, continuing on.
You've clearly spent some time with him. Looking directly at Marasi.
Yep.
We've never met. Who are you?
I am called Steris, sir.
Oh, making it up on the fly. Cool.
No, it's not made up on the fly. I had this last week.
Okay.
I named myself last week. Shush.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I meant more of like your character, not you.
Oh, a little bit.
Your character making it up on the fly, not you. You. I know. Okay. Anyway, so you said Steris.
Yes.
Okay.
I can spell it out if you want.
No, it's fine.
Not.
Steris. That's not a name I recognize. Are you from one of the? Yeah, probably from one of the lesser. It matters not. Considering my son is, well, whatever business he has here, he will state his business and you will all leave when that is done. And he just walks by the guards and walks upstairs. He looks at the guards. Yes, he ignored you. He did ignore you. He just walked right by you.
Drow, dear.
Ignored you. Did not even look in your general direction.
She's gonna mutter that druid. She's gonna druidic. She's gonna mutter fucking
Okay.
If it makes a difference in the way things went, I was in person, not doing it. She's showing a lot of deference at this point. She's making herself as small as possible at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. There's TLDR with that, Octaya. You would kind of know something on this in character. Your character would know that Drow really don't like outsiders, so that the fact that he just blew by you is less of a personal slight and more of a Drow doing Drow things.
Yeah. Well, then, from fucking bitches can go to fucking Drow and Druidic.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter, no one else does Druidic, so.
Yeah.
I do right now.
Yeah.
I know all the things right now. It's fine.
Plus one, Rusty.
She's not gonna say anything.
She cast comprehend languages.
I did, like.
I thought that wore off.
No,
she
after an hour.
Just recently cast it.
Yeah, she cast it right before you
everything.
walked inside.
Like
Yeah.
focus thing.
No, it's everything for an hour. Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, also plus one for undercommon as well.
Sweet.
He walks upstairs alone, by the way. The guards stay in the same room with all of you. We move back over to Esper. By the way, is your door closed or open?
Open.
Open. You hear a knock at the door. And your father's standing in the doorway.
I stand with a bow.
He does not reciprocate. All this time, and you finally have the nerve to show your face back here.
I had to prove, I had to make sure that when I came back that I was strong enough to truly call myself one of our people. I was naive when I left. I thought the world was a kinder place outside. And then I traveled to Row and saw my kind massacred. I met Rim soldiers. I saw them fighting as I first arrived. I see the darkness that's sweeping across the continent, across the world. I came back. Admittedly, I need help.
I see. And he closes the door behind him. You need help, yet brought one of them with you.
They have all given all that is possible to give as a mortal being to try and prevent the atrocities that are being performed.
Then answer me this. Give me one good reason not to kill that Rim bitch where he stands.
I believe you would.
Blood for the blood gods.
I'm sorry.
I believe
Shouldn't have split the party.
that you would know that. Well, you would know his name, at least in legend and tale. Kojiro. The famous Rim commander.
He cuts you off immediately mid-sentence. The disgraced Rim dog. I've heard of him.
Yes.
Ow.
Ooh.
And I just give a slight smile. As I have my opinions, but he's never proved to be an enemy.
By the way, as he says that, you can sense the hostility draining from him a little bit. Uh, his body posture is no longer that of of anger and hate, and more of annoyance right
Oh,
now.
dude, why'd you talk him down from it?
Yay.
I mean, I
Oh,
rolled an
an
11
in-character
against your
reason to
11,
beat you
so
up.
Damn
well.
it.
I mean,
Well,
you hid things, yes, but it's a little hard to hide that symbol on the left shoulder, Kojiro.
It is. I would have assumed I would have covered it up by then, but that's okay.
Yeah, the
Perhaps
disguise
you
kit
should
was
put
an
just
11.
a napkin.
Rough money.
The
but
disguise kit was an 11. Listen, that napkin was kind of hanging out off a little bit.
We did our best, bud.
I know, right?
I know.
We tried to take some of the dirt on your face and cover the dirt on your armor, and just wasn't enough. Anyway, moving on. Esper.
yes, he is many things. Skilled warrior though. I've come because, well, one of two things. We were asked, well, one of three. I missed home. As interesting as the outside world is, I needed to see familiar ground again. The second
And
part
you have.
was I have. It has been hope fulfilling. The second thing is we were asked to bring supplies to the above ground tribes. Blankets, food, things of that matter.
Keep going.
The third thing is we have heard that Rim is planning an invasion on the Elven lands. As much as we are secluded, if those above us fall, they'll come looking for us.
The elders can be chained to a tree and have their beards burned for all I care. What care do I
Agreed.
have for them?
I don't care for them, I care for us.
God damn, what the fuck?
What is it with you and beers, man?
Because they are magnificent.
Nice.
Bunch of Thordens up there. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Okay, good job.
Not that sorry, but a little sorry.
Wow.
I'll explain that one later.
Just... I have a feeling that settling for the ones above won't be all they want. They'll come looking for us. And though it will take them time, and they may lose men in the process, they are relentless. And eventually they will bring the fight to our front door.
That has been expected for hundreds and hundreds of years. What difference is it now? Between now and then, I see no difference.
Because it will be fast approaching.
You believe they're coming now?
I believe they're coming within months. If that, if we're lucky.
He looks you square in the eyes. Almost right in your face, even. As if challenging you in an unspoken way.
I meet the gaze, unmoved.
You have changed. You're You're no longer the weak boy that I once knew. You're still naive, but you're not weak.
What was that?
You will.
I'm asking the same thing. What?
You don't need to worry about it. It's fine.
That means we have to worry about it, don't you know?
See,
Now
the
we
most
do.
terrifying thing is that it's over 9,000.
I know.
What? 9,000? Oh,
It's
anyway.
power level.
All those numbers divisible by 3. Anyway, he looks at you. He's still looking at you. He's still looking you dead in the eye. You will stay here for now. You and your outsiders. This isn't my decision, whether I want it to be or not.
I understand that.
You will stay here until we figure out what we need to do. Well, not me. I have no say in this. Thanks to certain events. And his annoyed look becomes even more annoyed. Almost teetering on anger. But that is not a discussion for today. He pulls away from you. My son is home. He will stay here. He snaps his fingers. A butler immediately turns that corner and greets him. My son will be staying for an undisclosed time, as will the outsiders. None of them are to leave this place. Do I make myself clear? The butler says nothing, bows towards Esper's father, and goes along his way. Rest of the party downstairs. You see a butler coming downstairs.
Wow.
I'm doing my best to appear relaxed.
I'm just gonna continue reading my shit because this should be cool.
Butler speaks. I've been informed that all of you are to be staying with us for a time. If you would, I would gladly show you to some quarters.
That would be wonderful.
And he leads you, and he actually takes a right-hand turn down another hall and directs you to 4 different rooms. All of them guest quarters. Each guest quarter would have 2 beds in it. A total of 8 beds.
Oh my god, roommates.
Well, obviously, ladies in one room and guys can pick from the others.
Oh my god, this isn't a 8th grade trip.
Hey,
Sleep where you freaking want to.
Apparently Kojiro's the only one who can't handle sleeping with women.
He is rightfully taken.
Okay then.
Huh. Wow. Wow.
Oh my
Kojiro. Kojiro, the hits just keep coming.
Sadly, taken by someone who is gone.
Okay, are you saying that in character or out of character?
Wait,
Out of
me?
character. Now I'm not
Why
gonna
is
get
this-
smacked up again.
Why is this
Please
shit?
smack him. Please. I mean,
Can we go back to that cliff?
Yes,
You probably won't have to go far to find a hole.
Speaking in character, since
I
she
mean,
tried to
all you
smack
have to
me,
do is
I'd be
promise to
down
sell
to
him.
watch you
That's all you
smack
gotta do.
her.
In guys, guess what? It was totally all an illusion. You're at the cliff still. No, just kidding.
Yes.
No, like
Oh,
honestly,
wow.
we're in a drow
Look
city.
at
All you
this
have to
clip
do is
I have
promise
never
someone.
visited.
All you have to do is promise someone a nice sacrifice for like a meat pie.
Give you a nice sacrifice if you kill this person.
You know what? I honestly don't care who I sleep with because I'm not immature, unlike some people.
That
Quotation
wording, though.
marks.
And Anne just strolls off into her own room and is like,
Snap fingers, wiggle tips, and leave.
there it is. So here's the I need to know who's going in which room.
I tell you, you still trust Velder enough?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she knows who she's gonna room with.
Ross is Wimtas.
Yep.
I'll see if I can't room with Jack.
I'll room
Okay.
take another because I'm not going to use the bed.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 10 and 8. We got 10 people, 4 rooms.
I'll take up that offer with Anne. Go in that room.
Okay, so we got.
Ha! I get a good boy.
Yay! Someone praised me.
Yes.
Yay! Would
That
you-
hasn't happened in a
would
while.
you like to have a tarot card reading?
I'll go with the tentacle.
Wait, no.
Hang on.
Wait. Hang on. I'm sorting this out. Bear with me. Okay. So I've got. Hang on. I'm sorting this out real quick. We've got in one room. I'm assuming Octavia and Valdir are in a room together. Is that correct?
Yes.
Octavia, Valdir. I see one room in which we have In and Magnus. Is that correct?
Wait,
Yes.
there's 10 of us in 4 rooms, correct?
Right. Yeah. I'm working that
I
out.
think we also have Serenity as well then, because
You also have
Serenity said she wanted to go with the tentacle
The
man.
other thing is that Wimtas is going to take one bed. I won't take a bed. There's an extra bed in my room.
Oh, I'll go to Rasty then.
Octavia,
You can't
Valdir.
run
So
crazy. Why are you running?
we have. Okay, give me a second. We have
I don't want
Marossi,
my memory erased again then.
Toss,
Probably smart.
and we have room for one more in that room.
Yeah.
Did you see my awesome fortune for you?
Yes.
Bitch, this should be accurate. I have an entire list. I told you this.
Yes. Yes. We'll talk about that later.
Oh boy.
Because I got to take care of this now. Because
That's
we're
fine.
a bit on the clock here.
I count.
Who's with Kojiro?
I nominated Jack, but
Jack. Okay.
I
That's fine.
count 9 for 4
That's
rooms
correct.
because Esper has his own.
That's correct. That's correct. So only one
Oh.
room needs 3.
So we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got in room 1, I have In, Magnus, and Serenity. In room 2, I have Octaya and Valdir. In room 3, I have Marossi and Wimtoss. Room 4, I have Kojiro and Jack. Is that correct?
Yep.
I had thought Serenity was in the room with us because we have an extra bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might as well go where there's more.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Serenity is changing to room 3 then. Very good. Okay. So everybody's in their separate rooms. There is no one else in those rooms with you.
All right.
All the rooms look exactly the same. There is a bookcase with some light reading material, if you so choose. There is a dresser with a mirror, 2 beds, a couple nightstands, a source of light, 2 sources of light in every room. There would be one hanging from the ceiling, and there would be one next to both. Actually, no, 3 sources of light. There would be one on the ceiling and one on each nightstand.
All right.
And then each room would have a small closet area as no, excuse me, no, it wasn't a closet area. Each room would have a small closet area. Yes.
Where's the USB plug? I need to plug in my phone.
There are no compendiums in this room.
Damn it.
We're off the grid, man. Come on.
You are off the grid, man. You're so far off the grid. You're not just off the grid, you're under the grid, man. This is the true definition of going underground.
Cue the Tron music.
No.
That was
Anyway.
my favorite movie.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Anyway, what's everybody doing at this point? We taking a rest, or are we doing things?
I'll say a rest is a good idea.
Yep.
Please.
I'll keep watch. My character is pretty much still fresh as a newborn baby. Somehow.
You were in the
It's like
fights.
It's like you've been
Yeah.
evaporated this entire time, and only
It was a ghost. I snuck away. I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? We're bleeding. Oh, that's great.
We're dying, Jack.
it's sad
We're
because that
dying.
actually kind of
Jack,
did
my
happen. Someone
Jack
was
is-
bleeding at some point.
Question:
Jax.
Do the doors have locks?
No.
That's what I
I
was
don't like this place.
I actually.
You don't like anything.
Like I said, I'll keep watch if you guys would prefer.
Can I
It's
go to
fine.
my door and look outside and see if there is a butler or someone who is of the household nearby?
Yes, you can, and in fact, there is not one nearby, but you see one passing in the hall nearby.
I will flag him down.
You do so.
I might as well use, since I look like a drow, I might as well act the part of being a drow and see how much liberty I've got here. Maybe not much, but we'll see.
Get away with.
I mean,
We'll see.
gotta ask the questions.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, sir. Do you know if there is a chance or for a marketplace nearby or something where we can get some food to eat? It has been a long journey with Master Esper.
I am afraid that you are not permitted to leave the residence at this time. If you are permitted to leave the residence, any directions that you would need, I'd be more than happy to give.
Thank you, sir. It would be very nice to see the city.
I'm sure it would. However, as I mentioned, you are not permitted to leave the residence at this time.
I understand.
Hey guys, I have a lot of rations if you want them.
Yeah, we have food. That's not the point.
We have lots of rations.
I want to go outside.
Rossi's trying to
She's
get
trying
good.
Well,
food.
go
By the way,
outside.
by the way,
boundaries, man.
by the way, when they said you were confined to the residence, food is being provided to you
Sweet.
as well.
Okay.
So
And could just
you would
walk
not
out
have
the window.
you would not have to burn your ration count. Food would be provided. That would be inhumane for them to not provide you food.
This is drought we're talking about.
Man,
They're
I thought
not
this was
inhumane.
prison.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What do you mean?
They're
I thought we
just as-
were being kept here forever without food to
They're-
starve to death and become skeletons
No,
for
they're
decades.
I don't wanna
just
see-
suspicious.
Hang on.
They truly aren't that bad.
Speaking of which, that butler you were speaking with, Marasi.
Yeah.
As he's walking away, he pauses. He turns around and he says, "By the way, I almost forgot. I've been told to inform you that dinner will be served. That dinner will be served shortly. Despite the forced accommodations, you will still be fed.
Oh, thank
If you
sir.
would join us, for dinner,
I would appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
please tell your other companions." And he walks off. Excellent, Wimtoss. Let me get to that in just a second. As I see that, are you reading that?
Yes.
Okay, so you wouldn't have enough time to finish that. Okay, so I'm gonna mark off some time here for that book. Give me a second,
Cool.
okay? That's no problem. Um, so what now? As Marassi's been given that news.
Does it seem like I'm allowed in the hallway at all? Or we being like confined to our individual rooms, or just to this general area?
You're simply, the terms of it was you were simply confined to the mansion. You've been given no other specific restrictions.
Okay.
You cannot leave the mansion. It is the only direct order you've been given so far.
Okay. So I'll wander past each room and tell them that we'll be having dinner soon. Not to panic, just don't leave the mansion. Everything's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna hold off my rest then.
Each room is fairly close. I mean, it's within, the doors are within about 60 feet of each other.
As you get into Valdir and Octaya's room, you hear a bowstring start being pulled back.
You what, mate?
Yeah, I'll just knock on the door in that case. You're like, you may want to not do that, just so you know. We're guests here. Please don't kill anyone, Valdir.
That's not what I was thinking.
God damn it. God damn it.
Shush
Darn
you.
it, hentai man.
No, that's your room.
Okay.
Hey,
Wait.
no one has to hear what we do at night. You gotta just look away, okay?
God damn.
Anyways. In the middle of the night.
You're
Okay, enough.
Okay. First off, loot damage. Second off, moving on.
Hey, if I take too much loot damage, I might actually die. Be careful.
Dangerous position for a hentai mage, don't you think?
Oh my god.
Overload damage is
Hashtag get
I think that's okay. I have resistance to bleeding damage.
Okay,
gonna
moving
need
on.
Oh
Liz.
god.
Since I've heard that dinner
it's
will
getting
be ready
better.
soon, I'm gonna hold off on my rest.
Okay.
And I will leave my room and look around. Is there a butler nearby?
Yes, several of them are actually heading to the dinner quarters.
I asked them where the library is. There is one.
The library would be upstairs on your right. However, with dinner being served soon, perhaps you would go there after dinner.
Fair enough.
Fuck, speaking of food, I forgot to eat today. Be right back.
Liz, I would... Oh, sorry. I would go downstairs to get everyone, specifically instruct Kojiro to go nowhere alone unless he wants to die.
Wait, what?
By the way, you would have been informed as well about dinner. Esper.
Okay. I asked Esper why.
In my father's words, you are the, stray dog of Rim.
I'm guessing the disguise didn't work.
Hey guys, they don't know about me.
Okay. In which case,
Okay,
I have backup
Sam
plan.
Fisher.
Say that out
I
loud.
have backup plan. Okay.
You're
I
fine.
head back into
He's
the
not
room.
gonna hurt you.
Oh,
I take the earrings, I hide them in my bag, and I pull a jacket on my bag and put that on.
Okay.
There, now there's no distinguishable features that I am nothing but a half-elf.
Either way, we'll be served. There's some things that have to be gone through. You're safe for now.
Wait, I thought you were a Dragonborn.
Who?
What lie was I living?
Wait,
A
what?
very big one.
Yeah, Kojura is a half-elf, Esper's a drow. We don't have a dragonborn in the party.
Anymore.
What?
Yeah. Smiles was
Oh, yeah,
one,
Smiles.
he's gone now.
I thought Kojiro was a dragon.
No, his
Oh.
partner was a dragon.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it was
Arthur
Smile.
was the dragonborn.
Yeah, Smiles.
That's the one I remember. Okay, I thought we had more than one.
Boost Rhoda.
Yeah, we did.
No.
But they disappeared.
There will be many arrows to many knees if this conversation continues.
Yes.
Skyrim is fun and all.
But since I won't be going to the library, I asked Esper, is there anything I should really know about drow culture so I don't accidentally offend anybody?
Respect women. Do not speak to my mother unless spoken to.
I'm gonna guess this is a matriarchal society. It's a patriarchal then.
It's drow. Yes.
For the
Koshiro
most
doesn't
part,
know this. I know this.
For the most part, yes, unless there are rare circumstances, as in the daughter that was to be the heir dying.
Alright.
Voldier. I apologize about interrupting. Voldier, can you describe your outwardly public appearance right now?
Sure. Right now, he's got on his scale mail over under actually, a leather vest and a white shirt.
I meant more so your
Demeanor?
Demeanor. Yeah.
Very reserved.
Okay, thank you.
And watching everything.
Okay. Thank you, that's all I needed.
But we will be guests here for a while.
A butler comes back to your area. Says, you've been summoned for dinner.
Sonia, I have a question.
Yes.
The layouts of the basically dormitories, are there windows?
Yes, but there's not exactly a great view. I mean, it's all cavern. But yes, there are
Sure.
windows. One window in each room.
Approximate size?
Oh
5 foot wide by 15 foot tall.
Openable? Or solid
Openable.
glass?
Openable to a degree. Like, say, if you wanted to have the sounds of outside coming in, you could do so. But you would see that it's basically 2 panes of glass, one inside and one outside. The pane would not open very far, maybe about actually, no. We'll do it this way. The pane would open. Basically, it's not double pane. It'll be single pane. Basically, it'll open from the middle outward.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you could open it all the way.
More
if that's
than
what you're
enough.
asking.
Thank you. That's all.
So heading to dinner.
Yes.
Better question. Anyone not heading to dinner?
I will go out of respect.
Okay.
Aeon will not.
Okay. Very good.
Alder at least is going.
So Aeon will not. Where is Aeon? What is Aeon going to be doing?
As far as everyone else knows at the moment?
As far as what the DM knows.
Oh, well...
You whisper me, please.
I wanted to be stealthy.
Whisper him.
Yeah.
Whisper me.
No one else can see it.
Yeah. If you want it to be stealthy, I mean, you can have
No, I'm certainly going to have some stealth rolls later. It's not at this very moment in time. I'm planning things.
Sorry. Yeah, just whisper me whenever you're ready for that. All I need to know at this particular moment is whisper me where Aeon is right now. When everybody else is going to dinner. That's all I need, and then we're good. All right, so everybody else is given a seat. Butlers help everyone find their place, and are very polite about it. Actually, pull out the chairs. Minimal effort to sit down. They do all the work for you. Definitely, Esper, this brings back some memories of home. I mean, considering that there are a large number of guests, I mean, they're breaking out. They're definitely breaking out the good plates. The china is out. At which time, okay, perfect. At which time,
You can see that, can't you?
No, I can't see anything. I've got my own stuff planned.
At which time, two people enter the room. Esper, they'd be your parents. Your father, who you spoke to earlier. Your mother is there as well.
Stand and take a much deeper bow this time.
Your mother nods at you. She is wearing her full religious garb. She has not changed out of it. Your father, same clothes as you saw earlier. Slightly unusual that your mother would be wearing full religious garb, but however, if she was working a long day today, then it would not be unusual. She probably just had a long day. Well, down here, day is relative. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And they take their seat at the table, and the butlers bring out something you don't see very often, Esper. They're serving something that you would not normally see served at at dinner down here.
Do we know what it is?
The first thing that's brought out is the severed head of what appears to be an elk, which is then placed on a table, signifying exactly what is being served here this evening.
I like their style.
Esper, this is not unusual.
What, Jack?
Great.
Esper, I mean, excuse me, Jack, not your magnificent nature brow. Not no. Secondly, plates are being brought out for everyone. A very significant feast here. You see elk meat. You see what appears to be some form of potatoes. Definitely, Esper, you've had this before. Definitely, it's a sliced potato with some sort of a sauce. It's kind of a, how should I put this?
Elk and potatoes au gratin.
Not au gratin, but it's more of a wine, not a wine sauce, but like it's definitely almost like a roux in a sense, some sort of a roux.
Damn it,
you
now
can,
I'm hungry.
and also well, I don't know, like I'm trying to find the right word for it. Roux is probably the wrong word, but there's some sort of sauce covering it.
There's a sauce on the
Hand
thing.
sauce. Hand sauce.
And then also there would be some form of a salad as well. It's a pretty hearty meal. Also, there is some stew available upon request. Some stew is served in a bowl to everyone. And small bowl. And then there's also something else. Some bread is being passed around as well. So very, very hearty meal, especially relative to what you guys have been eating.
A beautiful meal. Thank you.
I'm assuming there's also wine of some kind.
Oh, that's coming out here very shortly.
Perfect.
Got it.
Liz, did you get any of the messages I've been sending you?
I'm seeing it right now. Give me a second. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Okay, I have to see I have to see how this is going to play out. Bear with me just one moment. Give me the necessary follow-up roll, if you would, please, Marasi.
Yep.
Yeah. Not just that one. By the way, who are you directing that to? I just want to make sure. Not the role you just made, but the other part of it. I just want to make sure. Oh, never mind. I see it right there.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I did state it in the plan.
Give me a second. I need that as well, and we'll follow that up here in just a second.
Ooh.
Very good. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. All right. We'll take care of that in a bit.
Thank you.
All right. So at this time, wine has been brought out, and everybody is being poured a glass of red wine.
Joke's on you, it's elk blood.
Joke's on you. I drink that.
Oh gosh, Jack!
Christ.
What happened to our tree-loving Jack? Where have you
Nature
gone?
Bros goes.
But it's only trees, that's what you've got to understand.
Listen. This is how you become one with nature. You are what you eat.
Exactly. Why do you think it's okay for me to eat a fruit?
It's fucking edgy.
Okay, so, let's see. Everybody's getting poured a glass of red wine. Let me get, if you would please, I need a couple people to make some rolls here. I need to make a roll. Valdir needs to make a roll, and Marasi needs to make a roll, please.
Okay. What am I rolling?
Perception, please.
Okay.
I roll terribly.
Perception.
Uh-huh.
That's a 20 non-nat.
20 not natural, okay. I'm gonna send some whispers.
I keep hearing that noise and it's creeping me out.
What noise?
Clickety clickety clack.
No, not the typing, but the background music.
Oh.
Valdir.
I can't describe it.
This is just like the eeriness.
Does the other thing take an effect out of curiosity?
Yes.
Sweet.
Hang on just a second.
That was
yeah,
the
because
backup.
that doesn't matter at that point.
Okay.
There's multiple things. Hang on, I'm sending stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing. I'm sorry. Hang on. Marasi, retcon what I just said.
Oh, okay.
There's one other thing that has to happen. And Valdir, I need a follow-up Arcana check, please.
All right. This is gonna be hilariously bad, but let's see. 13, not as bad as I thought.
13, okay.
Flat.
Marasi, never mind on the retcon. What I sent you was correct.
Okay.
13, you said?
Yep.
Okay, hang on.
Flat.
Bear with me just 1 second. Oh, never mind. Whim toss. Ignore that. Yeah, that was not meant for you. I'm sorry. That was meant for you.
15.
Thank you. Right, so I can now state some things publicly. Because shenanigans are
But
going
I didn't
on.
get the whisper.
Great.
You're gonna get whispers here in just a second, Valdir. Actually, no. I'm gonna let this play out privately. I take that back.
Oh dear.
We're gonna have dinner party stuff happening.
Shenanigans, eh now?
Shenanigans.
You're using that coupon,
I'm
aren't you?
gonna use my coupon because I feel like
I
it's
hate you.
necessary. Hey!
Why are you doing it down here?
Not my fault.
That doesn't sound appropriate.
Okay, so stuff
you.
happened. Stuff happened.
Glorious,
stuff
beautiful things happened.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I just want to get on with my life.
No.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, I think this is correct here. Let me make sure. Valdir, I need one more check from you.
Mm-hmm.
I need that. Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Big oof.
No one just hear the Witch of the West.
Inside, that's a 14 on my side.
Okay. Well then, now I can start talking publicly.
Jesus Christ.
So Marossi, let's get the follow-up portion of that. If you would, this will be public.
Sure.
Okay. So I think you were going to say something at this point, right?
I was.
Okay, go ahead.
Nope. That was a question. I was not planning on saying anything. Just kind of watching.
Oh,
I
oh,
was
I'm sorry.
watching and making sure it was going to plan.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Valdir, did you get everything I sent you?
Yep, the
Okay.
one message.
React at this point. You got nothing else out of that, basically. React to you can react to what you learned. Mm-hmm.
Okay, doing so. Continue with the dinner.
Okay. I mean, at this point, it looks like everyone is eating, or at least the butlers and the and Valdir's not Valdir's. I'm sorry, Esper's parents are eating. I'm assuming everybody else is eating.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure. I'll take a few bites.
I eat. I raise a goblet. Just an acknowledgement. I drink. Stay fairly quiet.
I mean, I'll eat. I don't drink.
Do I notice any of these glares?
Hang on just a second. What glares?
The one that Valdir is throwing at Marossi?
Oh yeah, it should be pretty public, I think.
He's trying to be classy about it.
Hey, I guess someone found the USB.
No. Poison? Nah. I don't poison people. I would never.
Somehow I very greatly disagree.
I agree with you.
Is there enough time for me to go make myself a small meal and come back?
To be frank, maybe?
No.
I mean, I don't think anything super important is happening.
That depends. Hang on just a second. Earbud, what are you trying to do?
I have a wonderful little spell called Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay.
well.
Well, first off, I need to ask questions here, because everybody's already started eating, correct?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
haven't started eating.
Okay.
I'm not
Earbud
shying
has
away from trying everything.
Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. So Earbud has not started eating. Everybody else has. Is that
No,
correct?
I
Are
have
you
not
eating the
started
head?
eating.
Serenity has not. Okay. That would be everybody then. Okay. Let me go ahead. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine, Earbud. Pop up your
Will
card
it
if you want to do
be
that.
Caught.
That depends.
Will
You
it
gonna
be
do?
noticed?
That depends. I don't know. Do you want to roll? Do you want to? If you want to, you can roll sleight of hand.
Yeah. Can I do that? Would that hide it?
That would be an attempt at hiding it.
Not stealth.
Now you roll sleight of hand because you're not really. It's a little different. Like with casting in a stationary position, you're not trying to hide yourself. You're just trying to hide your hands.
Can I do sleight of hand and see how that rolls and then try to cast?
Say that one more time?
Can I roll sleight of hand and then decide if I want to tap the spell?
No. If you're going to cast the spell,
no.
you... Okay.
Justification of it. Ready for this? She's going to test to see if anyone notices something else.
Okay.
And then do the spell.
Okay.
For example, if someone notices a very small cantrip, then they probably notice the spell. But if they don't notice the cantrip, then they're not going to notice the spell. Makes sense?
That makes sense.
But
What are you
roll
casting?
of the sleight of hand.
Yeah, that's fine. What are you casting first?
A cantrip. So the cantrip would probably be Druidcraft, and it would probably just be are there any plants in the room?
No, actually.
No. Okay.
Is there a bit of plant matter on her plate?
There's a salad.
There is, but it's kind of been, you know.
Okay. Okay.
I've been trying to do that same thing for like half an hour now, but I didn't notice that my mic was muted.
Okay, so she's just gonna create a tiny little orb. Very small orb.
Okay.
That's sitting behind her head.
Okay.
Where no one can really see it. Because she doesn't want this to be seen. Because detect poison won't be seen. It's more whether will they detect the arcana.
Okay.
Okay. So it's very faint, like very dim, small, tiny, can't be seen, right?
Okay.
You feel
Yeah, I feel. Give me a sleight of hand check first.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
How
Well,
about you roll again?
So,
Well,
here's my
then.
question.
Okay.
Do I see this with my passive of 18?
Everybody is going to see this, but give me a second. I'm gonna say because it's matching that ones. I'm thinking about this for a second.
Okay.
I'm considering a reroll on this, but I'm also considering let's see, because I've never really had to plan for this moment. I'm gonna go based on how I originally planned on working with nat 20s and opposing nat 20s, in which the modifier would matter. So like if one gets a nat 20 and the other does not, the nat 20 works out.
Don't do this.
Do it.
Reroll. Just a reroll.
No.
Reroll.
No. I want to see this play out.
I also want to see
No, I'm going to stick by the original plan. It's gonna be
But that wasn't the original plan. You're making up a rule right now.
No, I said before that the original plan was to base this off of the way I was planning with the crits.
That rule has
the
been
nat
stated.
20s.
With crits in general. Okay.
Yeah, with crits in general. This is a crit fail. I'm expanding
I
that.
thought you said that
crit
was
fail.
specifically for 20s. Sorry.
Yeah, that was for 20 specifically, but I had never considered matching nat ones at that point. I think the fairest way to do it is take the existing roll and expand it to crit fails.
Mhm.
I think that's the fairest way to do it at this point. Give me a perception check follow-up, please, Octaya. This would just be a DC 13 check. 12. Ooh.
I'm gonna have to do it now or doesn't use my own fucking dice.
Okay.
Are there any candles?
Actually, it won't be a DC 13 check. I mean, it'll be a DC 13 check in terms of if anybody's hiding it.
I'm staring daggers.
I would also be staring daggers.
Nobody
Everything's
looks in your
fine, I don't know
general.
what you're talking about.
Nobody looks in your general direction. But you do hear a comment from the drow matriarch of the family. As she puts her wine down, she says, "You know, dear, you seem to be
Wait, who,
an
what
elf
name
of
did she say?
the matriarch. She has not stated a name, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I just said the
I thought you
matriarch
said
of this.
Valdir, but you might have said Weldir.
He said, well, dear.
Thank you.
No, all I'm saying is the matriarch of this
Yes.
family unit.
Yes.
Basically, as she was sipping her wine, she put her wine down and said, "So, you seem to be an elf of talents. Not even looking in your general direction, Octaya. What school did you study?"
Do I need to roll?
No, you don't need to roll anything. This is fine. This is you.
Okay. Oh, that fucking nat one. God damn it. Okay. So she will. God, I don't want to eat anything though. She will demurely. There's a word. Demurely, lower her head slightly. Not looking at anyone, just looking at the table.
She smiles and goes back to sipping her wine.
What happens if I try it again?
I don't know what happens if you try it again.
And there was
I think
somebody
the
who looked
exact
at
same
you.
thing's good.
I've just been staring you down.
Yep.
Same.
Yep. She saw those too, yep. It's more the
yes,
matriarch she was reacting to, though.
A lot of the people I travel with are very talented.
What?
Looks in Elvish.
Wink wonk.
I am just face in my
Hey, you can
palm,
be talented
being
in
like,
all
oh my
different
god.
fields, okay?
We can look.
Well, if we can look in Elvish, I
Octaya.
eat this food in Russian.
No, in
What are we
character.
doing?
I'm just face popping.
Wait, guys, I need to look in Elvish for a sec.
Shut.
Oh my god.
Octaya, what are we doing?
I'm
You know,
done
fuck
what we're
it.
doing.
Let's try it again. Let's.
Okay. Oh god.
Yes.
There it is. And I didn't roll nat 20. See, there you
I'm
go.
gonna
You
use
got it.
luck to force a reroll.
Okay, go ahead and force a
Why
reroll
are
on,
you like this?
Wait, what?
Are you
on who?
serious?
Oh, I can't. Can't. It's attack rolls only.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't
there you
matter.
go.
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
Doesn't
But I
matter. Okay, Octaya, yeah, pop your spell card if you want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Detect poison and disease. Preservation, you sense presence, locations of poison poisonous creatures, diseases within 30 feet of you. You can also identify. So, you're getting a few pings on this, by the way.
Oh, joy.
Oh.
Y'all are idiots. That's all I have to say.
I don't know it's
Hang
considered
on, hang on,
poison, per se.
hang on, just a second. Hang on, just a second. Hang on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, Octai really needs to teach Valdir Druidic.
This is going to come in multiple parts.
Yeah, that's fine. Fuck. Fuck.
There's so much shit underneath the table. that I'm just like, well, time to go commit necro.
What's wrong with the food, by the way?
Oh, the food's fine.
You'll see.
Someone's a picky eater.
Wow.
You'll see.
Well, the food could be fine.
I mean, some of it might have been tampered with, but you don't know that.
Yeah, real quick.
knows.
Hey, question.
What does Valdir know? What does Valdir know?
Hey, this on, yeah.
Something's been tampered with.
Great.
Oh, shit.
I just want
Yeah,
to go to
there's a
sleep.
plot twist.
Oh, shit.
There's a plot twist.
Anything else?
No, that's everything. If you were expecting the wine, the answer is no.
Okay, so that
The
first...
wine's clean.
The first thing you sent me, is that specifically around Valdir?
Yes, it
What
is
is-
specific.
Fuck, okay, okay. Okay. I know what kind of poisons they are, yes? What do they do?
Hey, Esper.
Oh, fuck.
Esper, hang on a
Yeah.
second. Esper, hey, remember that drug you were telling me about before?
Paralysis.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah, fuck.
Also, Octaya,
Yeah.
every single one of those on the other thing are also paralysis.
Great.
Drug and the...
Yeah, everything, yes.
Okay. Octaya will, looking down at the table, say in a very calm but loud voice, in Undercommon, and then in Common, first in Undercommon, then in Common, say, everyone stop eating.
And at that moment, everyone except for Octaya,
Me, I didn't eat.
Serenity,
Did you drink?
Haven't eaten.
No, I didn't drink.
drink
didn't do
doesn't
anything.
matter. Drink doesn't matter.
Does breathing the air in your Valdir matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
The only people that didn't eat anything are, and I asked specifically, and the only people that replied were Octaya and Serenity.
I
Do
did
you wanna
not
know why?
see that.
I said it out loud.
Sometimes I
Must
just
have
give up.
been fucking hell.
I said it multiple times out loud. Is
How?
anybody?
Octaya declared it in chat.
Yeah.
Wimtoss hasn't eaten.
No, if you look
Yeah,
at
I will try at least everything.
in chat, I only say that I'm drinking.
I had asked multiple times. What are we doing? A lot of you said we're eating. We're eating. Okay. Is
No,
anybody
wait.
not eat?
Hold on, Valdir had eaten.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Valdir starts into
Yeah.
his meal, ultra and
Yes, I had.
I mean, I only touched his wine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wine is
That
fine.
is
If you
what you
drink
ate.
wine, you're okay. It's not the wine.
It matters
If
what
you
you ate, too.
If you started to eat, you're affected.
Great.
Of
You said very specific. Guys,
I
What
did.
the fuck did you
So
guys
Hey, what
basically,
happened?
hang on. Let me explain. Give me a second here.
I'm gonna flip the table.
This is for every. No, you can't.
God
On top
damn
of
it.
that, you yourself said everyone starts eating. So I
For
was
the NPC.
assuming
When I
that,
said everyone, I meant the matriarch, patriarch, the servants.
they're
yeah, you
affected
didn't
too.
clarify
They're
that.
affected too.
You did not clarify
Can we
that
just-
fact.
Can we
Let's
just
just
spill the
continue.
beans,
Being
please?
salty.
He's being
Because-
salty because he
Okay.
did indeed ask multiple times who's eating,
And I did ask if anybody
I
is
missed
not
it.
eating.
and
fully
he
admit
indeed
Thank you. Now
and he
stop being
indeed said the
salty.
cleric didn't eat. So
Yeah.
At that moment, everybody in the room, except for the following people, are immediately paralyzed: Octaya, Serenity.
I give up.
no con saves or anything like that. Just
Hang on a second. Give me a second on this because it's running through your systems right now. Octaya,
Mhm.
because give me a second on this. There's a reason why I'm not having you roll the con save just yet. Octaya, roll perception check, please.
1 second.
Advantage based on history.
Oh, fuck, okay. That didn't really help, did it?
Okay, that's okay. So you gain no additional information.
Yeah, that's chill. Okay.
You will hear, however.
Everyone stop eating.
You will, however, hear the sound of a bowstring being pulled back. And in the main hall is a single drow female archer with her bow and arrow pointed at your head. She says, put the fork down, put your hands up, and come quietly with me.
At me?
Yes, and everyone else at the table can now roll your con save.
Great.
Can I do
something?
I didn't have a fork picked up first.
Leaf, give me just a second, because you can do something here in just a second.
Okay.
Wait, is it disadvantage?
No, it's at normal.
Sorry, I did a disadvantage. It's a 21. That was
21. Okay, yeah, I'll take the first roll. If you accidentally roll disadvantage, I take the first roll. Okay, hang on. Hang on just a second, Magnus.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Jack with the 21. Jack will pass. In with a 15. In will barely pass. Kojiro does not pass. Marasi does not pass. Wimtoss does not pass. Esper does not pass. Magnus barely passes.
Wouldn't
Excuse me?
Esper can declare luck. Give me a reroll.
Luck feat is a very nice thing. It's like an extra penny.
No.
Nope.
That's a no.
It's okay because I have 2 more to burn, and it doesn't say I can't use it multiple times.
Yeah, that's correct. You can.
Wait, wouldn't Esper have protection from that?
It is a poison, by the way, if it matters.
No, Drows don't get anything like that.
If you want to re-roll it again, you can. If you want to use another, no, that's still a no. You got one more point.
Sure, fine, fuck it.
Don't stop him now.
No,
Jesus.
no. There's a whole lot of no involved.
Actually, who's sitting within 10 feet of me?
I don't fucking know.
Probably, I'm gonna say the one sitting next to you would be Marasi.
Within 10 feet.
I'm saying within 10 feet.
When did we decide the seating order?
I will be, just to keep her in
It was. I'm gonna say okay, that's fine. Marasi, Wimtoss, I'm sorry, Marasi, Wimtoss, Kojiro, and Magnus before. Oh.
I forgot about that.
Starting at 6th level, whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet must make a saving throw, creature gains a bonus to your saving throw equal to the charisma modifier. What is your charisma modifier? So it's going to be Kojiro goes from 13 to 16. Kojiro is now a pass.
8.
So that's not a pass.
Thank
you. Did a thing.
Job.
Nice job.
I'm useful.
Yes.
Congratulations, you have one useful moment.
Magnus, and I would say this is redemption for earlier.
How close is Marasi to me?
Marasi's near you, but still doesn't get you there. Kojiro's
Can I
good though.
walk over to Marasi?
Hang on just a second. I need to resolve the poison. Y'all need to chill for 2 minutes.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm good.
There's a thing I want to do with the poison.
Just relax for a second. Kojiro's a pass. Marasi's still a fail. I said Kojiro was near you. Marasi, Wimtoss is still a fail. Who was the other one I said next to you? Magnus. Magnus was already a pass. So, So Kojiro now on the pass list. So in Kojiro, Magnus, Jack needs to roll.
I already did. 21.
Jack did roll. Never mind. Jack is not a pass. I think.
Wait,
no, he is. He got.
Oh, Jack is a pass. That's right. Jack in Kojiro. Magnus, Octaya Serenity.
Okay.
No effect from the poison and or didn't ingest the poison.
Liz,
everybody else is still paralyzed.
I need to ask a very serious question.
Go ahead and then everybody can react to what's going on.
Would I feel Octaya's life is in danger?
You're talking about danger sense?
No, I'm asking for a very specific reason. Would I feel her life's in danger right now?
I would say the bow and arrow pointed at her face would be a pretty good clue. I mean, if you want to play Blue's Clues, I mean, we could totally play Blue's Clues right now.
Fucking damn it.
Can I yell? Can I do something now?
That bow is cocked, by the way, and it's about maybe, I'd say within 60 feet.
Can I do something?
Mm-hmm. You can now. You can react.
Please
Is this
don't be
currently
stupid.
initiative based?
No.
Now it is.
No.
On
It is not.
Actaya.
On Octaya, range 60 feet, so everything goes into darkness.
Well, that really
You hear. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
But it's not necessarily a good thing either.
Well, true.
Archer can't
I've
see
seen
you.
this. I've seen this strategy employed before. By the way, what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this employed before, and it worked. Serenity basically casts a spell, and suddenly everything becomes dark.
Everything everywhere or just around?
Do I remember where Serenity was?
Everybody would remember where everyone was at that particular moment.
I reach out a hand to grab Serenity.
You grab Serenity's hand.
And I say, undo the spell.
Can I reach out a hand to Marasi?
Yes, you have a free hand.
I'm gonna use my lay on hands.
Oh yeah, that does do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Secure the poison.
Marasi, you're free from the poison.
Hey, cool.
Hey.
I'm gonna tell Marasi, hey, pull me. I need to find the others.
Wait. 5 hit points from your pool of healing.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically you need to
Oh, hang on.
I see where this is going.
You used all of that, and we haven't had a long rest.
Shit, you're right. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Can't
I'll
do
use
that.
something else.
No, it's all good. I'm okay with being
I'll use that.
paralyzed.
Protection from poison. If it is poison,
Oh,
you neutralize
that'll work.
poison. There you go.
Hey.
That works.
Then I'm gonna do the same thing.
I'm
so-
holding you in place. You better not.
Marasi,
Yes.
you suddenly heard everything even while you were being neutralized. While the poison was being neutralized, you heard everything.
Yeah.
Does Moonbeam illuminate darkness?
In this case, no.
You would need. I
Sure.
believe it is a magical source of light is needed, if I remember correctly.
Well, I
And
have
I think
that
it has
spell.
to
I'm just
be-
trying to see if I can like.
If the spell's area overlaps with an area of light created by a spell of second level or lower, that spell that
List.
created the light is disabled.
Daylight.
What level spell?
Uh-oh.
Daylight's a 3rd level spell. I'm talking about Moonbeam.
Yes. If you
Moonbeam
can,
dispels?
no. So basically, if you were to cast it at 2nd level, it would not work. If you were to cast it at 3rd level, it would.
God damn it. Well, I only have a 3rd level spell slot because no fucking long rest, Lasagna.
You'd have to cast it at 3rd level for it to work.
I know how you feel.
I will announce again. Wait, undo the spell.
No, not yet.
There's shouting going on from the direction you last saw the elf archer, who apparently
So-
screaming something to the effect in undercommon that she can't see.
Okay, I'm going to well, wait. Can I... Starting what languages do you speak?
Elvish, Common, and Infernal.
Yeah, it's not the one that I was hoping for. Okay, just really hoping for Primordial. Okay.
I speak primordial.
Wait, give me a second. I actually have to check something on that.
Primordial is not the same as Infernal.
I'm
Magnus,
aware.
yeah, you're good. And I'm allowing you to do the thing from earlier. Yeah, you're good.
I just can't remember if my oath gives it to me.
Don't worry about it, I'll do it in Elvish.
Because I took Oath of Ancients.
You shouldn't put in your sheet in languages. I'm gonna use Elvish and say, why didn't you do that? Undo the spell. And you can either undo the spell or answer the why.
You saw what was happening. I took it as the best decision in that situation.
Okay, Actaya, are you gonna dispel the spell or not?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, Actaya is fucking sick and tired of this, and she hates using her fucking spell slots like this, but she can cast Daylight on herself.
Shit.
She's gonna
I will
stand up.
stand and ask everyone to
She's
chill.
gonna stand up when she does this and put her hands up.
And as that is cast, there are about there light is seen emanating. It overpowers the darkness. And as the elf archer, the drow archer from earlier, sees the source of light, she turns towards you, as does 20 other archers
Wait,
who
what?
are
Okay,
now
I
surrounding.
announce to everyone.
Hold on. Stop.
Jesus,
Stop.
chill the fuck out.
Stop. Let me handle this, okay? I'm the one that's got those pointed at her. Thank you.
Actually, right now it's pointed at the entire party now, but go on.
Okay, well, I was the one that started with.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. So, Octavia is going to announce in Undercommon as she stands up with her hands up, with nothing in them, and say, "It wasn't me that cast the darkness. I am the one that relieved it." And she will say, "I am not the one you're looking for, but I am the one that detected the poison." That's all in Undercommon.
That's fine. That's fine. The archers don't respond to you. Instead, another responds to you. A robed figure, someone in mage's garb, turns a corner and enters the room. See, I don't care about that spell. I don't care that you cast a spell. I don't care that you cast any spell. But it is good that you're willing to cooperate with us. See, you were allowed here by someone who has a little bit of influence, but the fact that you're here has displeased certain elements in the city. Hold off for anybody who wants to make another throw. Give me a minute. There will be another attempt at a throw here shortly. You see, down here, we value things that are much different from where you're from. We prefer to stay to ourselves, and we really don't like the fact that unannounced guests are here. But you see, we could solve this problem. As I understand, certain elements have kept you here, bound to this mansion. I would see to it that your arrangements change slightly. Slightly more freedom. Perhaps you would be allowed to wander the city. Granted, I don't know if I can allow you to leave just yet, but more freedom as we work on, well, confirming things, shall we say. A trade, if you will. In exchange for additional freedoms, the ability to wander the city, the ability to do, shall we say, you would be treated as tolerated outsiders. You would prove your strength to us, the strength of your convictions, the strength of your, shall we say, mind and body. If you were to agree to this, we would release the poison immediately. You would see us, you would follow us to a designated area, and you would prove to us your strength.
Is this in Undercommon?
This is in Undercommon. All in Undercommon. If you decline, well, and at that moment, every single bow in the room turns towards Esper. I have my orders.
Okay. So Octaya will respond in Undercommon. She will say, it seems reasonable to me that you would request a show of strength to prove that we are worthy to remain here in this blessed city. However, I have one request before I acquiesce to your demands.
I hardly think you're in a position to bargain, but humor me. What requests do you have?
I hardly think it's fair for people who haven't rested for how many hours has it been? This is out of character right now.
It's been, I would say, half a day. So you could reasonably consider it 12. Well, no, actually, no, it hasn't been half a day. It's been about 6 hours, maybe.
Longer than
Since you came off the airship, plus the last time we rested, so it's been about 18 hours.
18 hours.
Because it was half a day to get there, so 18 hours.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I hardly think it's fair to test the strength of creatures who haven't rested for over 18 hours. If you give us a chance to rest, so you may see our full potential, then it would be a fair trial.
He thinks for a moment. Your request is reasonable. I see no problem with this. Besides, I do believe that seeing one at the peak of their strength would be the most telling way to see one's strength. But there are also other ways to measure strength. He considers, or she considers, I'm sorry. She considers.
Oh, the patriarchy.
It's a matriarchy in this case.
I know, but it's fine.
This wizard is a she. This.
I know, but the way you had to correct yourself, it's never mind.
Yeah. She puts up her hand and motions downward. Every single archer lowers their bow.
Okay.
She snaps her fingers. Everyone is cleared of their poison.
Beautiful.
In 12 hours, we will be back.
Who are you?
Why don't you ask your mother who I am as she leaves the room? And on that note is where we're going to stop the session for today.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
I applaud you, Earbud.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Nice save there, Earbud. Very, very nice save.
Thank you.
Well, let me
give. Spell slots I've had to waste. So.
A few.
A few.
Let's start talking about XP for today. Plot points. Saved it, by the way. Earbud clutching it for let's say plus 250 for Octaya.
250, cool.
250 for Octaya, clutching the save where really that could have been bad.
Yeah, it could have. Thanks.
It could have been real bad.
I was fearing another canyon incident.
Serenity, considering that we didn't know how this was going to play out, getting another party member up and back in the fight, I'll give you a plus 25.
Yay.
So a little something there. Let's see. Actually, you know what? And this is for everybody. Everybody gets 50 XP. So that's, if I gave someone specific something, that's in addition to the 50.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Octaya plus 250.
So plus 300.
So 300, right? Serenity 75. Everybody else is picking up 50 for the session. And yeah, that will do it for today. Rossi, if you'll take us out.
Okay, can do. Alright. Got ourselves into a little bit of pickle there. I almost had to use one of my brand new spells. For those who could see, I was prepping something there in the background. But it didn't need it, so it turned out okay. Glad I figured that out. Okay, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. See you then.